Have you ever had a moment where your world shifted in a single day? The phone rang and everything changed. The job was gone. The diagnosis came back. The person you trusted walked away. Suddenly, the ground beneath you, what once felt steady, was no longer safe. We don't talk about it enough, but life has a way of blindsiding us. One minute you're standing, and the next, you're grasping for something, anything, that won't give way. So here's the question. When the world you know begins to fall apart, what are you holding on to? Where do you run when life unravels faster than you can fix it? Psalm 46 begins with a bold, beautiful answer. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. This isn't just a comforting phrase, it's a lifeline, a declaration in the face of disaster. God is not far off. He's not pacing in heaven, wringing his hands about your situation. He is near, ready, present, right now. Not just aware of your trouble, but in it with you. Psalm 46 isn't written from the calm, it's written from the chaos. It speaks of earthquakes and roaring waters, of nations in uproar and kingdoms falling. It's not a poem for peaceful days, it's an anthem for crisis. And that's what makes its message so powerful. When everything around you shakes, God doesn't. When the world screams panic, he whispers peace. When people walk away, he stays. You see, real faith isn't proven when everything is fine. It's proven when everything isn't. And Psalm 46 invites us to anchor our souls in this truth. God is our refuge, our strength, our unshakable place of safety. So today, if you're walking through uncertainty, if you're facing a season that feels like a storm, I want to invite you to pause, to breathe, and to lean into the one who cannot be moved. Because no matter how much life changes, our God remains the same. He is not just a shelter from the storm, he is with you in the middle of it. And the promise is clear. When trouble comes, so does God. Let's keep going through Psalm 46 together. And I want to invite you to really let these words soak into the places where fear and stress have been living rent-free in your heart. Because what we're about to walk through is not just poetry, it's a promise for the soul under pressure. Verses 1 through 3 say, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. That's intense. The psalmist isn't talking about small problems. This is the language of disaster, earthquakes, floods, collapse. Have you ever had a moment that felt like that? When the ground of your life, what you depended on, suddenly wasn't there anymore. A job gone, a relationship broken, a diagnosis that shook you to the core. That's what this verse is speaking to. When everything feels like it's falling apart, God is still holding you together. Notice it says, we will not fear, not because we figured everything out, but because God is our refuge. He is our strength. He is present, and he never panics. You don't have to outrun the shaking when you're held by something that can't be shaken. Verses 4 to 5 shift the tone. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within her, she will not fall. God will help her at break of day. Did you catch that? While the world is raging and shaking in verses 1 through 3, here there's a river, calm, steady, life-giving. That river symbolizes the peace that flows from God's presence. It's not the absence of storms, it's the presence of someone stronger than the storm. And here's the key. God is within her. She will not fall. That's what makes the difference. Not the absence of pressure, but the presence of God. Friend, if your peace has been fragile lately, ask yourself, are you living near the river? Are you staying close to the one who brings peace into panic? Because verse 5 gives this beautiful promise. God will help her at break of day. Maybe you've been walking through a dark night, but morning is coming, And when it breaks, so does breakthrough. Verses 6 to 7 say, nations are in uproar, kingdoms fall, he lifts his voice, the earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. The psalmist zooms out here, not just personal crisis, but global chaos, nations, governments, systems. Everything feels fragile. But what does God do? He speaks. He doesn't need to raise an army or flex his muscles. He just lifts his voice, and the earth responds. This is not a weak God we serve. This is the God who spoke the universe into existence and still speaks peace over his people today. And then that beautiful phrase again, the Lord Almighty is with us, not was, not might be, is right now, in this moment. Wherever you're watching from, he is with you. Verses 8 to 9 shift again. Come and see what the Lord has done, the desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. Now this part may sound a little intense at first, but stick with me. What the psalmist is describing here is the power of God to stop what man cannot, to end wars, to silence conflict, to destroy the weapons of destruction, physical and spiritual. Maybe you're not in a literal war zone, but I know there are people watching who are fighting battles every day, in your mind, in your home, in your soul. And Psalm 46 says, God can end it, not through human strength, but by divine intervention. He breaks the bow, shatters the spear, burns the shields. That means even the things the enemy meant to use against you, God is taking them out. And now we arrive at one of the most sacred invitations in all of Scripture. Verse 10, be still and know that I am God. You've probably heard that before. It's often printed on coffee mugs and t-shirts. But don't let familiarity rob it of its power. This is not a suggestion, it's a command. Be still. Stop running. Stop fixing. Stop spiraling. Just be still. And not just still for stillness' sake, but so you can know deep in your spirit that he is God. This is the holy pause that changes everything. Because sometimes the greatest act of faith is not charging forward, it's standing still and trusting he's still on the throne. And in a world that tells us to hustle, fight, produce, and control, God says, come to me, rest. Let me be God. Verse 11 ends the way verse 7 did. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. This is the anthem of Psalm 46. God is with you. He is your fortress. You are not alone. You are not vulnerable. You are not at the mercy of chaos. You are under the covering of the Almighty. So after everything we've just walked through in Psalm 46, I want to leave you with one final thought. You don't have to understand everything that's happening around you. You just need to know who's still in control. We live in a world that demands answers, that pushes us to always be doing, fixing, reacting. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop, be still, not because the problem is gone, but because God is still on the throne. That's what Psalm 46 invites us into. Not a life without storms, but a faith that stands in the middle of them. And let me be clear, being still doesn't mean being passive. It means trusting that God is working even when you can't see it. It means releasing control and resting in the one who never loses it. So if today you find yourself overwhelmed, if your mind is racing, your heart is anxious, your strength feels gone, this is your moment to pause, to breathe, to whisper that sacred phrase, be still and know that he is God. Let that truth be louder than the noise around you. Let it interrupt the panic. Let it speak peace to your fear. Let it anchor your soul when the ground is shifting. And here's what I want you to hold on to today. You don't have to hold it all together because God is holding you. You don't have to figure out what's next because he already sees the end from the beginning. You don't have to fix what's broken because his power is made perfect in your weakness. So I encourage you, find space today, even if just for a few minutes, to be still. No music, no phone, no noise. Just you and the presence of the Almighty. Because when the world shakes, your stillness becomes your strength. Before we close, say this with me. Even if everything around me shakes, my heart will stand firm, because God is in the midst of me, and he will not fail. That is the promise. That is the anchor. That is the God of Psalm 46. He is with you. He is for you, and he is more than enough.